Today we're on episode 2 here with Nino Bonaccorsi. He's an NCAA national champion. He's a three-time ACC champion, an NCAA finalist, and a U23 World Team member. Nino Bonaccorsi, I appreciate you hopping on, man.
No problem, brother. Glad to be here.
Let's get right into it. So first, talk me a little bit, and this isn't a video clip here.
hmm
Talk me a little bit about what you're telling yourself right before you're going out on the mat. You're pointing up. Obviously signaling something to God there.
Yeah, so every match, my last year, I kind of swiped my heart and I pointed up to God. I basically am saying like, um, my heart's yours and this is for you. Basically, what I'm saying. They
Okay.
basically kind of like giving like releasing myself for God. Like what I'm about to do is for you, and it was just
Right.
kind of like a symbolic thing that kept me kind of steady and locked in at the same time.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's get into it. Yeah, I was just on that.
Yep. Yep.
You can see it.
Yep.
Talk
So,
through there. Yep. Go ahead.
yes. So a lot of like that shot I used to do was basically I would try to take a lot of shots, like a lot of volume shots in my matches. And a lot of times I'd be in a tie up and I would snap out. I wasn't like I didn't love to be ear to ear. So I would snap out, I'd push, I would tie up, I'd snap out again. And something that I had a lot of success with would be like I would snap out and just drop basically into like a low double, like you see. Um, I would kind of structure my hands in a way where I would reach both hands out in an attempt to like get one leg. Like it was almost like I was reaching for, let's say, like the like his right leg. Um, but a lot of times if he stepped that leg back, my left hand would catch his left leg. So either I would end up on a single or I'd catch his right leg and it would get into a drop double. So a lot of those first two clips you see is really just me kind of like tying up, snapping, moving, and then just snap and just dropping into basically like an open double.
Yep.
Both my hands are out. I don't want to say like I'm blind to what I'm doing, but I know I'm either going to either obviously not get a front headlock or get a low double, or no, I'm going to have to go to a single. So I kind of like that was kind of like my almost like a jab in like a boxing for a boxing reference. I would just do it because it was very easy. Um, but yeah, but I think it worked really well with how I would tie up because, like I said, I would kind of disguise it as like just like I'm snapping out to circle out because a lot of guys knew I didn't like to be ear to ear, but I would kind of time it and snap it then just drop instead of just backing out. But
Yep.
and
Yep.
I would also do that from the open too. Like I would kind of shoot in an attempt to get like I'm kind of shooting with both arms out. And like I said, I'd either get the his right leg or he'd get that leg back out of the way, and then my left hand would get my lefty single. So I was
Gotcha.
kind of like two shots in one. If that makes sense.
But yeah, no, I've seen you do it a lot watching your film, and it looked like
Yeah.
you were kind of hitting that double, and a lot of times you would end up on that single.
hmm
Um, yeah, no, it was definitely a really good technique. I don't know if I have any specific clips of it, but something you said made me remember it, especially from watching you wrestle, was you do a
hmm
lot of things from the outside where it's not like these big, like you know what I mean, like huge
Yeah.
fakes, like kind of like
hmm
little fakes, and then gets reactions. Talk to me a
Yeah.
little kind of what are you doing there? Because you're obviously
Yeah.
a volume shooter. You
hmm
shoot freaking 50 times in a match.
hmm hmm
Um, so yeah, talk to me
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to almost like I remember I actually started doing it from, well, I didn't do it from this. I actually started doing this and then I saw this clip. I'm like, oh, that's what I kind of do.
yeah,
George St. Pierre, the UFC fighter, he was talking about how when he would fight guys, I won't get into the whole thing, but essentially he like is trying to overwhelm like your nervous system with
right.
like movements. Like if something's always moving. So I was trying to always be like that, like and try to always have something like to make you think about it. Like whether I'm like grabbing your hand or I'm like moving my body because like I would shoot a lot, so I think it kind of worked out. Like I think if you don't shoot a lot and you do like a lot of fakes, people might not like I don't want to say respect it, but like they know you're not a shooter, so it might be like it's not going to draw as much of a reaction. But
Right.
I would shoot all the time, like you said. So like a lot of little fakes I would do would draw reactions, and I knew that.
Yeah.
So a lot of times when I would either do that stutter step into like a tie up, like I would just grab you. Sometimes I would do it and just shoot. So I was really just trying to like stay moving, but um, but I was really trying to just like kind of overwhelm you and really just make you think a lot and kind of like I said, kind of overwhelm your nervous system and get you like, geez, this guy doesn't like stop essentially. So that
Yeah.
was kind of my premise. I would use it like a little bit of like a fake to get you like reacting, but it was really just a lot of me just trying to stay active and stay kind of like on the hunt per se.
Yeah.
Um, I couldn't do it. I mean, it's hard to do for 7 straight minutes, but when we were moving and stuff, I tried to always be moving something. Um,
Yeah.
but
No,
yeah,
it's just something.
that's a lot where that's.
Yeah, yeah, it was something I noticed in your wrestling, and I think it was something
Mhm.
that definitely worked for you. So,
Yeah.
um, the next kind of clips here are you kind of go to that low double, and like you said, you kind of are ending up on this single.
Hmm.
Again, I know you
Yeah.
talked about it, but talk me through again a little bit of what you're doing here.
So this match specifically, um, I was having a really hard time finishing on Younger. Um, he has like a weird defense. He was, and I feel pretty confident in my finishing ability, but for whatever reason, this match, I was just having, I would get his leg up and I just couldn't convert. Like I just had a really hard time converting. I'd get the single for whatever, and I'd shelf it. I just couldn't quite get my takedown. Um, so it's actually funny. So this last shot I took here, I thought, okay, I'm not just gonna I can't just keep doing what I've been doing the whole match because it's like short time, I gotta like convert. So I made it a point to when I circled, I'm like, I'm gonna try to elevate this and I'm gonna do a treetop single. I'm gonna try to put this on my shoulder to get him off balance. Um, and that's kind of what I did. I don't do that every time. Certain instances, I feel like I can get it up there. Um, when I would get it up there, I would try to like almost like pick you off your feet when I would do it. So in this case, I'm kind of, I don't know if you could kind of see it, but I'm kind of like pushing because I almost want to like knock him over. So I'm kind of pushing and tripping at the same time. But like here, yeah. So I'm like shelving it and I'm being a little slow and I'm kind of just dropping enough just to get his foot up on my shoulder and trip. Because like I said, I really was not having a lot of success doing the conventional way. So I made the mental note, like when I was in on that leg, I'm like, all right, I gotta try to put this like up on my shoulder. I gotta get him like off balance somehow because he's too balanced enough to just kind of trip normally, especially with short time. So
Yeah.
um but
Yeah.
yeah, so it ended up working out there because I got it and the way he like rolled, I ended up like catching him on his back. But yeah, so
Yeah, no, I watched that match fully, and there was like you were in on so many attacks, and it was like,
mhm.
Jesus, dude is
I
so
know.
freaking close to taking him down. But
I know.
he he is really hard to score on.
He is. He is. And
I mean,
I feel
I've never wrestled him.
yeah, no, he definitely is. And I feel better because I see some people wrestle him and they get in like those positions and they'll finish. I'm like, all right, it's not just me. I'm glad he's
Yeah.
like but no, he's really good. That's one of my favorite matches just because of his like I was happy with it because I kept I felt like I was pretty offensive. Um and I think it showed like a lot that like if you just keep pushing through, like you'll eventually get it. But yeah, that specifically was like just a little change in technique, just trying to get him more off balance than he already was. Because some of these dudes, like they're good on one leg, they're just good and they can stay there all day. Um, so I'm gonna put you on one leg, but I'm gonna try to like get you up in the air, and hopefully I can get a trip in there.
Talk to me
Yeah,
what
I
this
was fired
feeling's
up.
like. Yeah, talk to me what this feeling's like. Your hometown in front of, 10,000
Yeah,
people screaming your name.
dude, I was fired up. I was really happy because I was like, I felt like in what that's like a match you feel like you kind of deserve to win because I feel like, man, I've been really pushing the action and being offensive. It was home, it was a close duel, so it was like we kind of needed that one to win. Obviously, he was very good. So I was just really fired up, and I I had so much energy that I just started hitting myself. I had like a headache after that. I pushed myself so hard.
That's funny.
But dude, that's like when I think back on college, like those are like the moments you remember forever. Like that being, like I said, hometown, big crowd, big match, like last second win sort of thing. Like that's that's something I'll remember forever. That was really fun. And he's a really good dude. So I'm glad. Like like I was talking about before. Like those are the matches like you get like that's why you do it. Like you're excited for that. Like a top five matchup at home when the dole's on the line. Like you could look at that like oh this is you have a lot to be nervous about. But if you just like embrace that stuff, dude, like that's fun. It's fun
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put that in there. I had to ask.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
All right, back to the technique here. I don't even know
Yeah.
exactly what it is here, honestly. Oh yeah, it's kind of the double back to the single.
Mm-hmm. Like I
This is
said, yeah, that was one of my main shots. I kind of was able to get that off pretty easily. It just was natural to me, but um,
it's in the national finals here. Yeah.
same shot, yeah, getting that single. I think this is where I did that tree top.
Yep, it is.
So so if you could see, he was like bending his leg, like I'm bringing it up here. Yeah, so like I'm circling. Obviously, he was pretty strong and he was kind of scrambly, but as I'm bringing this up, you'll see his legs start to like bend down. Those leg that when they start doing that, it's kind of hard to control because you're basically it's your arms against his leg, and his leg's probably stronger than your arm. So I know that's going to be hard to hold. So I immediately try to lower my level and get that like up on my shoulder, like up on my elbow to like kind of take all the weight from his leg. So I'm basically trying to take all that force and weight from his leg and distribute it over like my arm and shoulder. Like I said, I knew that was going to be kind of awkward to finish, but I kind of slid it up. And like I said, I get back to that tree top, which is um makes it for a nice easy finish.
Talk to me a little bit about just your mindset here, because we're rewatching this match. It was something
Yeah.
that I knew you were always a shooter. I knew you were always offensive,
Hmm.
but actually, sorry, this isn't the clip. This isn't the clip.
Okay,
It
okay.
was when you were winning. It was when you were sorry. This isn't the clip. I
No, you're
apologize.
good. You're good. You're good.
You
You're
were
good.
winning. You're still shooting. We'll get to that though.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
this is so slick. This was
yeah.
so fucking
Oh,
slick. You didn't score it, but oh my God, I had to put it in.
yeah. I know that. I honestly wish I could say like I was planning that. Dude. I was really just trying to be like on him. So like I shoot and miss because I take that shot a lot. I miss. I come out. And when I was coming out, he was kind of down on his knees a little bit. So I'm like, well, I got to capitalize on this. So I went one way, and that was something I was pretty good at too, was going one direction and going back to like a single.
Right.
For this one, for some reason, it ended up in almost like a ankle pick, which is usually I don't usually do that. I usually go like right into a sweep the other side. So I kind of went that side, and I just kind of dropped in because I saw his leg, and like I wish I could say like I was like, oh, I'm gonna pick him right now. I just kind of was moving and I was like trying to just find his leg, and I got
Yeah.
it. And I was like, oh geez. But he got his foot out, and I was like, dang, that would have been really nice to get right now.
Yeah. No, it was
uh,
so slick. You went freaking old school Keith Gavin, basically
yeah,
drag
yeah,
almost type of thing into the pick. So this dude was
uh-huh.
just so long though that he was just able to put his foot out there.
I know, I know.
Do you
Yeah,
like
it's
that?
good.
Do you like that rule?
What the out of bounds, like with your um I think I don't know. I don't know if I ever thought about it like, do I like it or not? I think some guys can take advantage of it. Not saying he did here, but like I think some guy like in this case, um, like the alternative is he doesn't move his leg and I get a takedown, right? So obviously he's going to try to split. It just so happens it went out of bounds. Um, but I think in other cases, like I said, not this, like guys will take advantage of that and like do it to avoid wrestling. And I
Yeah.
guess I probably have a problem with that. I guess that's stalling. So anytime you're like purposely like fleeing or stalling, I know it's part of it, and the mats can't be like big to where that's impossible. But I guess
Yeah.
it makes sense because if you start going off the mat, you probably have to stop it at some point. So
No, I get it.
I would say I don't probably it doesn't bother me that much. Like I said, unless they're purposely fleeing, it is what it is.
Do you like the rule where like dudes are on their knees? I hate to call out Angelo Ferrari, but like he's such a good
Oh, you're good.
example.
So what? Yeah. So what is? I guess fill me in. So like I know he wrestles on his knees. Are they saying he should be stalling? Is that like the
Yeah.
debate?
Yeah.
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 Um. So I've wrestled a lot of guys who have done that to avoid to kind of keep matches close because like I said, I shoot a lot. So that's a way to stop a lot of shots. So it's very frustrating to wrestle. Um
Yeah, AJ did it to you. I mean,
yeah. Like I think it's an effective like positioning. I think a lot of people don't like it because it's hard to counter. Cause um I don't even want to say I wouldn't say I have a problem with it. I think you can do that. I think you could wrestle on your knees and still be like an offensive wrestler.
yeah.
Not even offense. I think you could still wrestle on your knees and not be like stalling, if that makes sense. I think if you wrestle on your knees and you're kind of circling the mat and backing up, then I think it could be argued. You're like, all right, you're not really engaging like at all. You're not engaging because you're circling and staying away, and you're also not engaging because you're not even like level with me. You're like kind of on the mat. So I
Yeah.
think in a way you're avoiding engagement a little bit. But I think if you go on your knees and you're like maybe shooting or you're like hand fighting, like I think that's if that's just your stance, then I don't have a problem with it. But
Yeah.
you could argue you could do the same thing. Like you could not be on your knee. I mean, there's those guys who get super low and their elbows are in and they kind of so I mean it's kind of the same thing. So it's like if you want to call that stalling,
Yeah.
y- you know,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't know.
I was just curious what your thoughts were because that's a hot debate
Yeah.
right now as far as college wrestling.
Yeah,
Should that or should that
yeah.
not? Because I don't know. I guess I'm kind of the same way. I'm kind of two-sided on it. So
Well,
I was just
it's
curious.
like it's a yeah, that is interesting. Well, it's like if you start calling that stalling, then you're really taking away like a lot of um positioning in wrestling because sometimes you end up on your knees and you don't even mean to.
Yeah.
So if you're willing to, yeah, I don't know. It is interesting.
Yeah. No, sorry. I
No,
was
you're good.
curious.
No, you're
Um,
good.
I don't know what exactly this clip. Oh, kind of that inside reach from the outside. Talk to me a
Yeah.
little looking for here. I had a couple.
So specifically this one, so like my first like little tie up I do there, um, it's kind of like it was almost like I call it like a shuck, but it's basically just like a shrug. And I'm basically pushing him away and I'm opening up. So in that case, that would have been his left leg. So I'm kind of moving his arm and I'm opening up his left leg. Typically, I wouldn't get that left leg because guys are going to rotate. So they're not going to keep that leg open. So I anticipated them circling and stepping with their right leg, like there. I was a little slow to that shot, but what I try to do there basically is shrug him by, get him to like square up, and then go to that leg that squares up there. Um, I kind of let him like relax a little bit there. He kind of like turned kind of slow, and my shot was a little slow there. I was still able to get it, but that's kind of the premise when I do that. Like get him to circle, then go to that other leg. Um, And that shot, it basically just a head inside knee single. That was another shot of mine.
Yeah.
Um,
I think I have a couple other
Same thing.
clips of doing something very similar where you kind of go shuck by and then
Yeah,
you kind of either will fall into a double or I think this one you kind of, yeah, caught him on the
yeah,
reattack.
yeah. So, well, that one with Younger, the second one, that was just again, that was another one of my main shots. I I kind of that like it was like my knee pull to that side. I could kind of fire that one off pretty fast and from space. So that was one of my go-tos. I'd get that a lot. And again, he was hard to finish on. um, so yeah, Shuck go to that leg. Then, like I said, this is just open knee pull, just trying to stay shooting.
Yep, yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hard to finish there. But that Shuck I did, so I do it here. I think it comes really from an over tie. And I'm really just I'm trying to almost like rotate your body. Like I'm trying to move you, get you off balance. And what was nice is sometimes I'd get guys off balance and I would snatch. Um, so I do it from my right side, their left leg. I would do it and I would actually catch their left leg like off a snatch. Um, but sometimes like I would go for that left leg and they would circle. And then that's like kind of with the younger one, like they would rotate. Yeah, like
yeah,
I'm kind of reaching for that one, and then they square up, and I either do like a knee pull or like my double that I do. So like I said, kind of back to like just trying to attack both legs. I'm kind of just like taking what you give me.
yeah,
Um, just like a drop in sweep there. I kind of like shooting to that I guess their right leg for those sweeps. Um, but yeah, a lot of my main stuff there was like that shuck, trying to get guys to move, and then um really just like shooting it whichever leg you give me. And then if you don't really give me any leg and you're square up, then that's when I kind of hit that double. I'm like, well, I'm gonna get one. You know what I'm saying? And then so not like super like technical shots. Like I'm not gonna say like they're like crispy, clean, like perfect shots. It's just those worked well with me, like with volume. Like a lot of that like, give me 50 reps at that, 50 attempts, I'm going to get one. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So a lot of it was just volume. And like I said, they're not super pretty, but they're just like, I just want to get in there, like clear back into another one. So a lot of what helped me, I guess, mainly like a lot of my shots were just volume and basically just statistics, thinking like
yeah.
eventually I'll get one and hopefully I can convert.
Yeah, you were always super fun to watch in college. Like if someone's watching and they never watched you wrestle personally, he's like a current Mitchell Messenbrink, I would say, as far as good attack rate and
Yeah.
like getting after guys.
I love
Um,
how he wrestles. Yeah.
yeah, no, he is fun to watch. Talk to me a little bit about this set out turn in you do.
Yeah, so really on bottom, I was trying to but I would really try to seal and then kind of turn in. So it was almost like a sit out, but I tried to break like his like whichever side I was sealed off or I could get, I would turn that side really hard, but I would turn in a way that like I'm turning to get your leg. So this one I ended up sealing and just kind of turned into like a sit out and I ended up getting the leg there. This one I was turning in like they say like don't reach back in wrestling. Like I was almost like reaching back, but for his leg.
Yeah,
Um, so I was kind of just turning enough to where I could kind of get his leg. And a lot of guys would sense that and kind of just like bail. So a lot like here, I turn and like it's too late. Now I have your leg. And this one, I think he kind of like felt like I was going for his leg and like just bailed. You know what I'm saying?
yep,
But a lot of it comes from just like winning that seal off. Um, and really just like battling inside. Yeah.
perfect.
So like
It's so good.
yeah, just really like I said, really just like trying to win the whistle, seal, and like rotate enough. Sometimes I would do that turn in and he would follow me and I would seal and just do it again. So I'd kind of just like keep doing that until I broke that space, like our hips, or I had enough space to like catch his leg and either like just get my one or convert it for like a reversal or something like that. So like that first one was like kind of probably like a reversal if I remember. This
Yeah.
one, I turn in and he kind of bails. So
Right.
again, kind of similar to neutral, just trying to be like volume, like not super technical, just being annoying on bottom, being just like consistently sealing. He breaks me down, seal again, turn. Try to get to the point where they're like, it's not worth riding me anymore because it's like you're wasting a lot. I'm just doing the same thing and I'm turning in. And like I
Right.
said, I had that threat of like if I turn in, like I might get a reversal. So a lot of guys would just kind of let me
Yeah.
go. And um, but yeah, so
Yeah, no, I noticed a lot when I was watching film that you would try to go to that reattack a lot. So I wanted to ask you
mhm,
about, you touched on that perfectly. That
yeah,
was perfect.
yep,
I honestly don't know what's next here. I think I just had your treetop finishes. So you already kind of
yeah.
talked a little bit, but you could touch on it again a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it wasn't. This one was a little more conscious. Like I tried to do that on purpose, just because he was a kind of a tricky defender. This one was almost like kind of natural and by accident. It just felt like the way his leg was bending, it kind of just like started sliding up my arm, and I was like, okay, like get it up on my shoulder, and I would try to lift it and trip, and it would create like a really easy takedown because they're kind of in the air and you kick that leg out. So they kind of can't really like funk you or sprawl. It's kind of just like a, big takedown. What's funny about that one I had, like this one, is he actually took me down kind of the same way. Like he um shot in and he like tripped me and I like landed like really hard. I'm like, oh my gosh. So then it was funny, like I got mine and I kind of tripped him and he like landed really hard. So we almost had like the same kind of takedown, which is funny. But
Yeah. Would you
yeah,
say that's
just
the biggest takedown of your life?
uh yeah, probably. Yeah, yeah. And it's funny because it's like I said, it's not like a behind the dirt, like clean takedown by any means. It's really just came from like being annoying on the leg and just being able to like just shelf it up and just keep his leg elevated and just trip. Um, kind of basic to be honest, but it's like sometimes that's kind of all it takes. This one
Yeah.
kind of same thing. Like there's nothing super crazy. It just is a matter of like getting that up on your shoulder. Obviously a little easier said than done and getting it up there, um, but like I said, a lot of it, yeah, that's probably my favorite one. So again, I try to take that shot. He kind of circles, just being consistent, getting back into that single, and then yeah. So that like I call that the head wheel.
Yeah.
Um, obviously won me the match. Um, it was another kind of way I used to finish. If I would circle, sometimes I would circle so much that I would like beat him. So like I knew he wasn't going to be able to come to his feet. So I would shoot. I'd get behind his leg here, and I would almost get behind his leg, and my head was still on his like belly. And because he's like split, he's kind of off balance in a way. So what I would do, like I said here, behind his leg, my head's there. I would use my head to kind of knock him over that leg that I already had. Um, and I could do that. Obviously, I did that from the ground. I would do that sometimes from the feet. Um, something I used to do a lot. I got pretty good at over the years, but I circled in that way instead of like, I'm behind his leg and trying to reach across for his far ankle or even come back out front and like try to do like a low double. This was just an easy way to like get him off balance. It kind of like disrupted all the scrambling that could happen. Like there's no crackdown. There's no like trying to he's in the splits because he already did that split before. So there's no like chance of him getting away on that. This kind of just eliminates all the scrambling,
Yeah.
gets him off balance and makes it a little easy finish.
Heck
Nice.
yeah. No, that's perfect. I don't know
Yeah.
why. uh, I watched so much Nino Bonaccorsi wrestling yesterday.
Yeah.
I, for some reason, I thought you were winning like 4-2 or like 4-3, and then you went and got
Yeah.
another take in the finals. But
Yeah.
that must
Yeah.
be a separate match. So that's probably your
Yeah. Yeah. That was the biggest one. Yeah. Yeah. It was funny because it was he was pretty good on top. And it was it was 3-2 him in the third period, but I had riding time. So it was really tied and it was my choice. And like I said, he was good on top. Like I knew that, but I felt like I could have got out, but it was more like, I mean, neutral's like my best position. So I kind of felt that, hey, if this match is going to end, it's going to be like on our feet. Whether he takes me down or I take him down, I kind of liked it. I got to end it like on my terms, you know. Obviously, I could have went down, got out, maybe won that way, or I could have went down, he could have rode me out and lost. But I figured like I kind of like this to go out on our feet. So I ended up picking neutral that third period when it was tied, and um, like I said, luckily it worked out. But yeah, he
Just
was a good dude. No,
yeah,
that
yeah,
was it. Yeah,
he was.
yeah.
Just the last thing I have here is just man, for no for someone that I know it's obviously hard to put words to this feeling, but if you could best describe it, what is a lifelong work kind of like
Mm,
when you kind of achieve this final goal here? What is this feeling like?
mm, like a lot of relief, a lot of yeah, that's great. Just a lot of like I said, dude, a lot of relief and a lot of like like a sigh of relief, like it was worth it. Like I was able to do it, and so it was more like it was more like I was thinking like now I could live my like I can like I have the rest of my life now to like remember that and like even that like I was able to like make them proud and all the struggles we went through, all the times we would travel and do all that stuff, like it was worth it. And I was like more so like happy I could give that to them. I was thankful to God for letting me experience that. And like I said, I was just so relieved that because I felt like I always knew I could do it. um and I'm just happy I was able to like finish and be like I was able to do it. Like there wasn't like a question like, if I would have lost, I probably would be like in bed being like, man, I'm like proud of what I did as my career, but like I felt like I was always capable of doing it. But I'm glad like I didn't have to think that. Like I actually did it. And it was funny because like I was like after that, dude, I would have dreams and I'd be like I was like kind of still in disbelief. I'm like, I can't believe like I did that. It was like it was crazy. Um Yeah. I don't, it's hard to kind of describe. I don't know if I even did a good job there talking about it. It's just, it's so many emotions. It's kind of like, it's hard to put into words, but I think initially, like I said, like relief's probably like the one that comes to mind just because, I always felt like I could do it and I was happy I was able to pull it out.
Yeah, 100%. I really
Yeah.
appreciate you having on, man.
No problem, bro. This was fun.
This is awesome. I really appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks for having me, brother.
Of course, bro.